Say yes to new beginnings.
Yes.
Say yes to new standards of excellence.
Yes.
Say yes to engaging reportage with a difference.
Yes.
Introducing Yes International Magazine. The time to say yes to your dreams and aspirations is here.
Uncle Charles comes for you. He says, which film has been hungering you? I'm quoting him now, like he said, but has not yet happened.
What a beautiful question. What a beautiful question. Okay, let me put it like this. Because after the years went by, it changed from a particular film to the idea of the kind of film. And to describe it easiest is to show the quality of what I can do in a legacy film. And it's so burning. I believe so strongly that I could take an ordinary story and convert it into a masterpiece. And then there are some stories that have some quality already that we're working on. And my 4-year sojourn as president of Directors Guild is over. Took my time, took my concentration. I'm happy now. I can start to. I've already dusted up a couple of my scripts, and I'm looking at now really engaging and proving to creativity that creativity is not a matter of age, it is a matter of gifts, preparations, and talent.
All right. Thank you. There's also another question from one gentleman or so who is online. He says, which of your works do you consider the most important, as a director?
It is an impossible question to answer. It is akin to the question for those of you who are fathers. Which of your children is the one you love the most? But it's hard to say this is the one I love the most. Looking at my children and looking at my works, very different films strike me differently. So it is hard to compare one with another. Sometimes the circumstances, sometimes the storyline, sometimes the reception, sometimes what it does. And so you have to break it down to say, okay, which film do you think, for instance, addresses this issue the best that you have done? And I'll say, okay, this issue, this film, I like this film because of that. Which has been the most challenging film, and I say the same thing, because what is challenging in film A might not be what is challenging in film B. Sometimes the challenges are financial, sometimes they are administrative, sometimes they are creative. And when we were doing Amazing Grace, that's Jeter's film, one of the greatest gratifications I had was like being one of the oldest guys in the camp, and like mediating within a creative fabric where two ideas have formed. Where two ideas, two creative ideas are clashing, and then and then somehow a division arose, which is between the white crew and the black crew. Sorry to use those words, but the foreign crew, sound man, cinematographer, and that, and then local crew director and his assistants, and I said, "Well, you can shoot this thing like this." I said, "No, I think this thing is best shot with chroma and everything," and then I had to sit on it, and it was a huge scene in the film where somebody's thrown overboard in the water, in the deep sea, where the slave was thrown overboard, and then John Newton falls overboard, and my character has to dive in to rescue him. So I actually was a stuntman that day because I actually dove into real thick dark water. But the idea was that to capture the rain and everything. So Jet had done this elaborate. We had actually built a boat, and then they said no, they were not going to shoot it like that, and we insisted. And so on the day of the first shot, where Nick Moran, if you remember Nick Moran, when Nick Moran saw the first shots that were taken before he arrived, and he went, I can never forget the expression. But that was such a gratification for a film like that. Now, at the time the film was released, it traveled the world, but didn't get the oomph of that film. But when I'm talking about this beautiful place, it's exciting. A film I like a lot, a very early old film, is called The Jailer.
I remember.
It was done what's his name? Sam Dede playing the lead, Neil and Jenny Vilnaji playing old film. Joseph Benjamin, all the way from Bodo.
Yeah. Nice to hear from you again. Longest time. Thanks so much for joining us. Thanks so much. We salute you too. Thank you.
Yes,
thank you.
That's our talent. That's our talent.
Yeah.
Show them for the talent. Show them that it is born. It is born into us.
Yeah.
And so what was I talking about now?
We are talking about what happened when they were shooting the Amazing Grace and stuff.
Okay, yeah. And so the various stories that come out. Then I was talking about Ijele, and Ijele was by the time we finished Ijele, the more styles like that came up where now I use the building, the beautiful big rustic old English set. So it panned out so beautiful. So we worked with the DOP, and this was a time where we didn't have tracks, so getting tracks was an impossibility, and DOPs then had mastered the art, quotes, of handheld, and I realized that if you had a wide shot, the shaking of the handheld don't see too much. So I practiced how to use the buildings as a blocking of the film.
The superstars are trooping in for you. Sadi Balogu just joined. Thanks so much. Thanks so much.
Sadi Balogu.
Thanks so much for joining us.
Really flow. I salute you back.
Thank you so much. Yes, thanks so much. All those who have joined us. Thank you.
And so Ijele is one of the things I like that express the culture of Africa, the development of Africa years gone by. As they say, we don't tell our stories, and that have been told that they've been telling our stories for us. That we should start telling our stories, and so Ijele goes a little bit like that. and I've seen a few titles recently that authentically try to retell a lot of the stories that have been told to us. I'm still looking for stories that will tell us why Mongo Park discovered Nigeria, who parted the canoe that he used to discover it. I'm still looking for a story like that. That's where I'm coming from. That's the
All
canoe that
right.
came across, and you are discovering what he's carrying you across. So that's told from the side, and it's in our history. But that's not the story. You know, I was going to do a story on. We actually did a story on Mary Slessor in Calabar and the killing of twins. But by the time I did my research, you'll be shocked. You need to retell that story. But I told that to me. I told that to me. So we do have a few things that
All right. All
we
right.
can
All
do.
right. Now, yeah, I'd like to find out from you. For anybody to have a taste of success in Nollywood, what must the person do?
Network. You must be good with your networking. Prepare. You must be properly packaged. You must be. You have to maintain some kind of uh, professional pride, yet be humble and available. A lot of the work you are going to get is referrals. Not referrals. It's not, and a lot of the work you are not going to get is because somebody just says, "Oh, you want to use that guy? You did this." So, those who take things like coming to set late early or late for granted, uh, get punished along the way. You have to be consensus. Consensus. Hello, Tia Mag. I mean, you have to be consensus. Um, it's not easy to know what is happening always. So you must have some kind of network and be at as many events. When I say events, I don't mean the glamour events. I mean events like workshops, seminars, talks, and stuff. Find all this. I think,
Wow.
please, if you don't have talent, try and develop your move. Do not
Thank
play
you.
your battle.
All
Do not
right. Thank you.
do it.
Mark, thanks so much. Mimi Otese, thanks so much. Kadisi, thanks so much. All the wonderful people who are joining us, thank you so much. Now, what's your dream for Nollywood?
As well, I think you have written this before. I told you that over 10 years, 15 years ago, that is where I said that I see Nollywood taking over the film space, the world, and that's my
All right.
dream. Becomes so big, so huge. It is adaptable. It is easy. It cuts all the costs, and we are born into it. We have a lot of the key factors that make a good filmmaker. We have resilience. We have passion. We have talent. Uh,
All right. Go ahead. Have you finished?
I think these three can take us to the top of the filmmaking world
All
internationally.
right. All right. Now, from the standpoint of a director, who is a good actor? Wachai, thanks so much.
A good actor is one who is malleable enough to um, interpret, to understand the interpretation that the director wants of the film. Good actor is one who is on time and doesn't give director a headache. A good actor um, Yeah, I think that's it.
All right. Now, what?
Behavior, talent, what attitude, all the same, and management.
All right. Now, you also engage in script writing. What constitutes a good script?
A good script is a collection of stories that finishes the time. What I think, first of all, a good script must have a good story, then a good plot. Um, every story must have a beginning, a middle, and an end. It is age old, but how you manage each of these three areas in your story is what actually makes a good script. So all the other things fall in, but the major major thing I should say is that a good film script shows, it doesn't tell. It shows you the story. It doesn't tell you the story. And one of the most important things about a good script is the ability to cut, as the, the cliche goes, cut to the chase. Too many times, and it is difficult because you want people to understand your whole world of your film. Where is this guy coming from? And sometimes it is not enough to just put it in lines along the way. There's a lot of things, but you want to start your film at a attention grabbing opening gambit and maintain that. So it's easy to get an attention grabbing opening gambit, but it's difficult to maintain it. So your story that can do all that is a good story.
Wow, thank you. What new things should people expect from Oloru Fred Amata? Oluwa Bukola, thanks so much.
What new things? It's the same old new things now. Same new film, new this. The same old. I don't see new things. Oh yeah, I'm considering certain new things. Really, there's a new normal.
Yeah,
So what we are doing now is new normal.
yeah.
To get into some kind of reality thing. I'm really thinking about it. So maybe I'll gather some few 50-year-old men and say, okay, maybe prefer let them have 4 days and say let's do 3 months first to get 6 pack. Will you follow a program like that? I will show that something interesting.
Now, other than your father, who else has contributed to what you're doing other than your father?
Who else has contributed? Okay, there was one negative contribution that turned positive. My favorite auntie, she loved me so much and she'll be looking at me and saying,
is she here?
Yeah, you are going to study theater. You want to study theater? You will show Gary. So I say, hey, so I go show Gary. This is one of the reasons why. But as soon as I came to the understanding that, look, this is a business that I've come of age. And I learned that love of show Gary. And it became a motivation for me. And I say it in every chance I get. You see, apart from my father, everybody, when they win awards, who they dedicate the award to? Do you know the average?
No.
80% people who win awards, do you know who they dedicate the award to?
No, tell us.
You dedicated one to her. I was to your mother. Look how dedicated I was to the mother. So yeah,
Yes,
that goes to show that she actually always supports. But
contributed.
my father was such a gathering, a uniting figure, and it was like a whole family he united, you know. And everywhere he went, he was a lecturer. So everywhere he went, he had this long list of students, teachers, lecturers who he influenced, who are living off what he has taught them even to today. And so it's hard to say somebody else influenced by going and becoming who I am.
All right.
Apart from who influenced everybody becoming who everybody is, which is
All
God
right.
Almighty.
All right. What strategies did Olorogun Fred McQueen Amata adopt to get to where he is today?
Um, I'm not such what's the word, meticulous, organized kind of person. The creative impulse comes with a lot of madness, we all know. So I cannot claim that I planned properly to say I'm going from this point to that point. But in growing, I always knew that whatever I set to do, I must complete it. So I seem to complete a lot of things that people did not realize because I have that overtly playful demeanor and outlook. People don't realize that I did a lot of things quite early.
Yep. You say you play a lot.
Yeah, I play a lot. What you do again? You know? So play is part of. I, I have something I say. You see, you can't take life too seriously. You know why? You're never
No.
going to get out of it alive. Really, that's a joke I use. You're never going to get out of life alive. So don't take it too seriously. Uh-huh. But then, the happy, easy, uh, lucky, how do you say, feel free, lucky, go fish free. I don't know how to say that in English. I've lost my head. But
No,
that's the
no.
kind of personality I am. Let me go, feel happy, go lucky. Um, that's who I am. But after my marriage failed, I was in a. Okay, so
Yes. You
okay,
said after your marriage failed.
okay. So when you feel there was a lull, and I was not the bubbly usual Fred Amata and everything, and I realized that it took me a while to gather myself back, and I decided that maybe I should just concentrate and let people know that I can be a serious person. I decided to
What?
go, and I decided to run for the Directors Guild of Nigeria, and I won the position of
Presidency.
president. And I think after 4 years, I've conducted myself pretty well. I'm satisfied. I could commit seriously. I'm giving day in, day out to DGN. We have taken DGN from where it was to a higher level, and we are satisfied with our stewardship. So, no particularism. Now I just feel, oh, I'm going to go back to being the Fred Matter that everybody knew. But
Okay.
unfortunately, I'm now a chief. They now gave me
You're
chief.
now.
I'm
Yes,
now
I know. Yeah. Now that you've talked about your marriage, would you like to tell us about why it crashed or something? You want to talk about it?
and no, I'm not going to talk about it in detail, just differences and maybe we were much younger. There was too much. What's the word? You're too exposed to society. You're two toddlers exposed to a vicious society, and you got caught in the web. Finish.
All right. Do you have any regrets about the fact that your marriage failed? Do you have any regrets about it?
Well, you know how that song goes. Regrets. I had a few, but then again, too few to mention. I did my whole. I did it all the attention. So that I did it my way.
So finally,
That's it.
yeah, finally, when are you giving marriage another shot? When are you going to marry? When are you going to settle that again? Because after your marriage failed, you got a tangle with Ibn Above Ibrahim. So a lot of people thought both of you were going to. Are you going to give marriage another shot, or you remain a
Regret,
bachelor?
regrets, I had a few, but then again, too few to mention. Everybody's laughing now. I think truthfully, yes, truthfully, um, I think as exposed, I don't want to use the word star or celebrity, but as people exposed to public, um, we also have challenges. We also have challenges staying in our own
Yeah,
space
yeah,
because we invade other people's privacy. They feel it is also a duty to know more of who this guy or this person is, and so they want invasion into your privacy. But in the same vein, we still need some kind of cocoon where some of the things that we feel are private can be kept private, and we can still talk about it. Marriage is 15 years old failure. Nothing much to say. Talk about nothing there. There's no bitterness in it. No.
are you
Uh-huh.
going to remarry? Are you going to
Whether
remarry? If when? I mean, it's taking too long. Are you going to reconcile with your wife?
easy, it's not as easy like that as you say. I don't know. I'm open. Depends on how it goes.
Okay.
Mm. It's
All
not
right.
something that we want to loud on social media people. It's not easy. Really easy, really just shoot from head.